Okay, so for the recording, because I didn't hit record yet, we have started the onions in oil with the garlic, and I'm cutting up the jalapenos right now, and you don't want to get the jalapenos in your eye. So now you're all cut up. We are making cheesy chicken enchiladas in the slow cooker. I like to do, when I'm doing meal prepping, I like to do like 1 meal in the slow cooker and then 2 meals not, so that I have something going and cooking that can cook longer, and then the 2 that can be fast. If I wasn't doing the slow cooked cheesy chicken, I do every Sunday I cook. You guys are making me come out of my box, but I cook chicken in the crock pot with a cup of salsa. And that makes it like really tender, and it makes a lot of chicken, and it's really good. So, all right, so now put my last medium jalapeno in there. Okay, and so then the next step we're gonna be doing is add the chicken. This is totally new for me. I haven't used a lot of this before, but this lean ground chicken, it's a lot better for you than ground beef. And I think that we're gonna be like pleasantly surprised on the flavor. I got the extra lean because it was actually on sale. So we're just gonna be grounding that, cooking that up with the peppers and the jalapenos before we put it in the crock pot. And how I do my prepping so fast is I multitask. So that's going to be cooking for 5 to 6 minutes. And so that means that I can go and see what other things that I can cook in between. So I have this, I'm just on the beachbodyondemand.com on their blog, this chicken and black bean burrito bowl. And so I already have my chicken cooking up. So it just says to combine rice, lime juice, cilantro in a medium bowl and mix well. So we need to actually cook the rice. So 2 cups of brown rice. I'm actually going to be using quinoa for mine because I forgot to get brown rice, so I'm pretty sure it'll be a very similar texture. So how I'm going to start cooking this is I add a 1/2 cup of the quinoa, which you would do the rice, and 1 cup of boiling water, and then bring it to a boil, turn it down, and let it cook for 15 minutes. So I can get that going. And then we can start our pancakes, our pumpkin protein pancakes. It's funny, my son loves pancakes, and he heard me saying to my daughter that we were making protein pumpkin pancakes, and he's like, oh, no protein in pumpkin, just regular. I'm like, no, we gotta get our veggies in there with our pumpkin and our protein with our protein powder. So again, if you're new, you're not gonna have your protein powder yet, but you will know what to expect next week. I'm sure we'll be doing a different recipe than the pumpkin, but we'll be doing something fun, I'm sure. So make sure if you are like a picky eater and you're wanting to be part of picking and stuff, make sure that Friday that you pick what one to vote for. Okay, so now we have that cooking and the chicken cooking for our salad. Now we're gonna move to the protein pumpkin pancakes. And the first thing that we're going to do is combine pumpkin, almond milk, egg whites, and extract in a medium bowl. So, oh, you know what's weird? So I was trying to find the pumpkin puree like all over the store, and I kept asking like the little sales girls, you know, the cashiers, like, where to find this at, and they kept directing me to the vegetable aisle. It's not in the vegetable aisle. I don't know if it is like in your guys' store, but it's in like where the pies are, like the pie mixes. So if you have a hard time finding it, then it might be like with the baking stuff, because that's where it ended up being. I had to end up finding it on my own there. So I was like, wait, okay, where have I seen this before, you know? So it's going to be 1 cup. So this is 15 ounces, so I'm actually gonna wanna measure this out. Well, I grabbed a little 4th cup one because it's gonna be hard to, this will be like a little easier to scoop. I'm really glad that you guys all channeled your inner white basic girl and picked protein pumpkin, because it's like my favorite. And I'm like, oh, is that so like cliche? But it really is. Okay, so we've done this pumpkin. We're gonna add the almond milk. You're gonna laugh, but I actually do cashew milk. I bet they're different, but I really like cashew milk, so that's what I've been doing lately. It only has 25 calories per serving, which I think is good. And so it calls for, let's see, a 4th cup. I already had my 4th cup out. Where did I put it? Okay, a 4th cup of almond milk. And then we're gonna add egg whites, which when I do egg whites, I found that it's actually cheaper than buying like 20 billion eggs to do these egg whites. If you're like Brittany and you have your own farm, then you can just get your egg whites out of your egg, your actual egg. Like, I am not that talented. So a 1/3 cup is 3 large eggs. So I'm just gonna do a 1/3 cup here. Perfect. And then it says an extract, which I got my vanilla extract. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. There was someone chatting. I see the chat. Definitely do better this week. Think when pumpkin shake will come. Oh yeah, so this is like a little ad right now, seriously. So they're coming out with a limited edition pumpkin Shakeology. And it's just gonna be like a certain amount of servings. I can't even remember all the details, but it's coming out in October. So if you're like inner basic girl is screaming for pumpkin, then you don't have to go to Starbucks and get the 5 million calorie, not even very good coffee. Starbucks, you can actually just have, you can order pumpkin Shake-O in October. So I'm so excited about that. I'm like way too excited. I screamed when I found out, and my husband was right next to me, and he was like, wow, like, but come on, it's worth screaming for. And I'm storing my stuff, by the way. Okay, now we're just gonna whisk this up. The great thing when you whisk, if you want something fluffier, then you wanna try to get the air bubbles like into it. I learned that from my dad. He makes quiche, so they're really good. I guess we could do that next week. Quiche, that'd be yummy. So really like mix that up. And then the next thing that we're going to do, you set this aside. So we need a separate bowl to combine the oats, the protein powder, nutmeg, baking powder in a medium bowl. Okay, so first we have our oats, which is going to be 1 cup. And it actually says the quick cooking oats, which is weird for me because I always use old fashioned, or I eat steel cut almost every morning with my protein drink if I'm not having like pancakes for the breakfast. Okay, so I have a whole cup of my quick oats. You guys see these? They still say like whole grain and stuff, so thought about that at least. Okay, and then cinnamon, which is a 1/2 teaspoon. I put a little extra cinnamon in there. I love cinnamon. Okay, and then next it's the nutmeg. I need this for later. I need that for later, so I'm gonna save it. I bought nutmeg and I don't see it, so oh here. Okay. And then we're going to have our 1 scoop of whey protein powder. And this, of course, I would suggest Shakeology, but you can get any type of protein. This is, of course, my favorite because it has fibers and probiotics, and it has superfoods in it, has phytonutrients. So if you're like a nutrients person, you can whole grain based formula. I use the vegan on this one, but I've had the whey one as well. Okay. And so then let's see, in a medium bowl, mix well. So you don't need like a whisk for this one. Just use a regular spoon because it's not wet ingredients. You don't need to get air into it like you would. That's why you use a mix for the other ones. Okay, and then add mixture to pumpkin mixture, and blend well. Mix until just blended. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up. This is kind of the consistency that it is. I'll show you without dumping it in on my computer. Okay. So I'm just mixing that up really well. And what's great is now you have like this pumpkin. They taste like a dessert. They have a vegetable in them. It's great for veggies most, but also has carbs for your breakfast. You know, we're doing half carbs and half protein. There's some protein in there for you. I mean, there's not a lot of pancakes that you'll get, you know, out on the street that you will have like so much protein, so much vegetables, like all with a really good carb. Okay, so I'm going to combine all that, and then That's when I'm gonna spray my pan and start cooking about a 1/4 cup for each pancake. And you guys know, like, you cook the pan, you spray the pan, you cook it for, 2 to 3 minutes, cook for 90 seconds, then you flip. Divide in between 2 serving plates, top with yogurt. It's funny because I get some of my food from a meal truck here. She does like a healthy, she's on our team and she does like a healthy version of like a meal, like a meal truck. And she puts applesauce on the top of her pancakes, and it's really good because it's like very sweet and, just all organic applesauce. But I just go get the real maple syrup, like real organic maple syrup, and I use it, and I use a teaspoon of it on top of them. But really it's up to you what you like. I know that some people put peanut butter on top of them. Just a little bit of peanut butter, a teaspoon of peanut butter, and they eat them that way. Okay, so looks like my quinoa is cooked, and it looks like my ground turkey is cooked, so I'm going to be going back to my cheesy enchiladas. So we have all the way down to number 5. Place chicken, farro, beans, corn, tomato, water, enchilada sauce, chili powder, cumin, coriander, and 3-quart slow cooker. So it looks like we're getting pretty close to getting this recipe all the way done. So at first it says chicken mixture, which here's my chicken mixture all cooked up. Whoa. Throwing that in the slow cooker. And then Kendra, I was having a hard time finding these, but they're the farros. And it's kind of weird because I found them next to the quinoa, like if you're looking for them in the store. But so I think she's going to be using something else in hers, like cauliflower. The texture is almost like, you could just use rice, I think, because like, can you see that? Like the texture looks like rice. So anyways, I'm going to pour that in next, which we need a 1.5 cup of that. A lot. Okay. I was like reading about these, and they're really cool because they're a fat-free food, like quinoa is. And so it's like a really great source of fiber. It has like 12% of the fiber that you need for the day, and so even though it's a carb, it's a very, very high fiber carb. So when we're talking on the 2B mindset and we're talking about the fiber-filled carbs, that's definitely one of them. So that's like a healthy carb that you could have. And then let's see, what was next? Okay, chili powder. Oh, wait. Beans. So I just got black beans. I made sure to get the no salt added ones because I was looking at the cans while I was at the store, and I noticed that there can be a lot of salt added to these. So you don't want to get like all of your sodium in some black beans, So I got the no salt added sea salt ones. I'm just going to open those up and pour them in. And let's see, it says, oh, I have a chat. Okay, here's the chat. Let's see. I actually ended up using corn tortilla strips into quarters and layered the meat mixture with the seasoning and enchilada sauce. Yeah, that sounds good too. Corn tortilla. Okay, so let's see. Wash my hands. Okay. Okay, so just the whole can. So I'm draining them first.
Hey, Megan, I'm just going to show you what that looks like.
Okay, yeah.
The crock pot. Let me see if I can. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Oh, that looks good.
So I'll cook it for about 3 hours-ish, maybe, because I don't really need to cook the farro. The farro doesn't have to cook. I just want it to exist. It ends up making it sort of like it's a chicken enchilada lasagna, I guess you could say, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, but
The people
I had
that
to improvise today, so that's how I improvised.
might want to be careful if they're using too many tortillas, because I think she considers that a silly carb.
Well, there's only let's see, there's a total of 3 tortillas that would be for amongst everybody.
Oh yeah, so that's not bad.
Not bad at all. It's very minimal.
Let's see, the next thing that we're gonna do is corn, tomatoes. So the corn, it said to use frozen corn, but I just got a can of corn, and I just got the no salt added corn. That way it was just easier for me because I didn't want to go try to find corn in the frozen, and I don't know, maybe a little fresher, maybe canned corn's worse, I don't know. So I threw that corn in there, and then the next thing that I'm throwing in is the tomatoes. Everybody. Okay, so the next thing that I'm throwing in is the tomatoes, and it said fire roasted. To do fire roasted, I got a big can, so it's probably not. Let me see what this size is. Yeah, so 15 ounce. So this is a 28 ounce, so I'm only gonna do like half of this. A little over half of it, I guess. If you're doing like exact math. Where did my can opener go? Here it is. That looks really good. Okay. So fire roasted tomatoes, and then water, which we wanted to add 1 cup of water. Okay, we're about to end, which is good. We have like 10 minutes left, so. All right, and then 1 can of the enchilada sauce. Just put it away. Don't turn around. Oh. Oh, here's my enchilada sauce. It was hiding behind my bananas, which I have been adding to my shakes lately. They've been really good. I just do a half a banana because that's considered a whole fruit. And it makes it more sweet and yummy. And okay, so that's added. And then we'll do the chili powder, cumin, and coriander. The coriander was like the only thing that was kind of expensive, so probably only 2 teaspoons of it. So anyways, so that just in case we get cut off because this is about to end, like you just finish following this recipe, you let it cook in the slow cooker, and then you'll have it's actually 10 servings of this cheesy chicken enchilada. And then the last thing that we will be doing for our meal prep, so I will then make my pancakes, cook those up, set them aside, have them for my breakfasts. And I will actually do my salads. So my salad, as you guys saw the recipe, I cooked up that fresh, I cooked up the chicken, not fresh, frozen, pre-cooked. And then I'm just going to layer them in the salad jars that I do. How I will layer them is I'm going to use the salsa as the bottom because I don't want it all over everything to taste like the salsa. And then I'm going to do the chicken, and then I'm going to do the other hard ingredients, and then I'm going to do the romaine on top. And then I'm going to seal them with their little lids. And what's great about this is they stay a lot longer. So that recipe I will post on the group. It's this black bean and chicken. And I didn't get avocados because I don't like avocados, and they are a healthy fat and they're good for you, but they are totally not my thing. So I would put those on actually when I would cut them and put them on when you're eating the salads, not actually right now, because avocados go bad so easily. You don't want to cut into them if you're not going to be using them right then and there, because they will be brown when you open up your salad to go eat it for your lunch and everything. And so anyways, just keep going. I finally got that lid open. Where the heck did I put it? So I'm going to be putting in the coriander, and then I'm going to be putting in, I found it. Just coriander. And then I'm like on the wrong recipe. And then I'm going to be putting in the 1 tablespoon of cumin. So the first thing that I noticed when I started Beachbody is actually that I didn't realize how many sugars and salt are in pre-made seasonings. So like taco seasonings and a lot of those things, they'll have like so much sugar and salt in them that you're going to be adding a lot of stuff. So I cook my own. And a lot of the Mexican foods have cumin in it. And if you smell it, it smells like taco seasoning. So, okay, and then 2 tablespoons chili powder, making it a little spicy. Perfect. And then cumin, chili powder, cumin, 3/4, and then mix well and cover. Cook on high for 3 hours or until liquids have been absorbed with the farros. Farros, is that how you say it? If anyone knows how to say that, you totally let me know and correct me, because. And then you add the cheese on top, and that's what I would do actually when I was about to microwave these when I'm cooking them. So this is what it looks like, and I'm about to stir it all up. Ooh, I'm still on my computer. Stir it all up so that the seasonings actually get dispersed evenly. Okay, and so now we have 10 meals done, because that is completely done. And so if you think about it, that is a lot of meals, because that is more than a week's. And so you can actually probably freeze this, and it's just as good. You just freeze it and then put it in a skillet and cook it up right before you are about to serve it. And so anyways, thank you guys for all watching. The next thing that you'll do is you'll cook your pancakes, and then you'll fill up your salad jars. So remember, salsa, because it doesn't have the bowls. These are like a bowl, you know, so salsa, and then you're gonna wanna do chicken, and then you're gonna want to do all of your hard stuff, and then you're gonna wanna do your salad on top. So thank you guys for watching, especially to the new people watching, so you know what to do for next week so that you can be actually involved in it and cooking along with us. Is you'll vote on Friday, on Saturday you'll go shopping, or Sunday an hour before like I did. And then you'll be able to prep along with us. And, you know, within the like next 20 minutes when I get done with all of this, I will have, you know, 3 different servings of the, let's see, the pumpkin pancakes. How many servings does it make? Oh, 2 servings. So I'll have 2 servings of the pumpkin pancakes, and I'll probably drink my Shakeology the other days. So when I have the pumpkin pancakes, I will do probably half a serving of Shakeology on those days as a snack later on. And on the other days, I'll do a full serving of Shakeology for my breakfast. So if I'm planning my meals out, then I'm going to have my rice jars for my lunch. And then I'm going to have my chicken enchilada for my dinner. And what's great about, like, you can either freeze it if you're only making meal prep for yourself, which is what I did for a long time because my family made it for me. Or you can have 10 servings, and, you know, if you have 5 people in your family that'll eat it, then you'll have 2 different dinners, and you can do that on your crazy busy nights. And then when you're not having your crazy busy nights, you can actually use recipes from your To Be Mindset. Oh, here's a chat. Let's see. Will you post a picture of the jar? Oh, they're just the regular jars. Like it's funny. I get them from all over. Like if I ever have a sauce, I keep the jar, and so I use that. But then also, I just use the regular mason jars. So here's what they look like.
Okay. And can you show what it looks like after you fill it? Like,
oh yeah, I can show you
what it looks like in the thing. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm a visual learner. I need to see it.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how you actually layer it, because if you put salsa on top, all of your lettuce is going to get mushy.
Exactly.
If you put the chicken not in between, then it won't absorb the salsa, and you kind of want it to, so it's like a yummy chicken salsa-y.
Right.
And so that's what you want to do. And the quinoa, you're going to want to probably put above the chicken. And then, so I will definitely show you. I did quinoa. You can do rice.
Yeah, I did rice. I'm a quinoa fan, so.
Yeah, I like quinoa.
Great, thank you. And I also appreciated your tips last week on the Greek salad. That helped a lot.
Oh yeah, how did those go? Were they good?
They were so good, and I used them all week. It was so easy. Just I actually added more lettuce to it just to make it more, because I have those short mason jars.
Yeah.
It was so handy last week. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm starting back working at the tattoo studio this week, and so this is going to be really good. I can grab and go these lunches. But anyways, and the pancakes will be good, because then I won't be drinking just shakes. I like drinking my shakes in the morning because it's kind of like the fuel for my day, you know. But I like to do some other stuff too, just to break it up. So anyways, I hope you guys all have a great Sunday, and let me know what you're meal prepping. If your meal prep doesn't look like mine, that's perfectly fine. Just, have your meal kind of planned for the week, like what you're going to eat, whether that be you're eating out and a healthy place that you can eat at, that you can get lots of veggies first, or whether it be that you are making salad jars, or whatever you are, let me know. I love to hear about meal prepping, totally my love. And so anyways, I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you. I'll post next Friday on what the options are, and if you have any suggestions, let me know, and then we can meal prep together next Sunday. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hi, thanks, Megan.
Thank you. Bye.